Hey everybody, what's happening? Aussie Graver here. Today we're back at the Melbourne General Cemetery and just going to show you around a few of the graves and see who the residents are here. Before I do that though, I want to show you one particular grave, and that's this one here. This is Charles Pritchard, his wife Elizabeth, and their children. Now, Charles Pritchard came out from London in 1833 and had a grocery store in Canning Street, Carlton. He passed away in 1881, and he was the first Pritchard to come out from England in my line, because Charles is my great grandfather, Elizabeth my great grandmother, and my great aunt and great uncles are buried here as well. Interestingly enough, the headstone appears to have the spelling of the surname wrong, because Pritchard is spelt with a T, and all the checks that I've done and all the paperwork I found, including Charles's signature, says that it is with a T. So I'm unsure why the grave would be spelt without that T, and it's probably something we'll never know. But just wanted to show you that one. Rest in peace. And we're just going to walk around. We're in a very old part of the cemetery here. A lot of old headstones. Some of them you can read, some you can't. But we'll just cruise around and have a look. Affectionate remembrance of Robert Thomas, son of the late William and Elizabeth Thomas, from Great Britain, who died in the Melbourne Hospital on 27th of September 1880, aged 40 years. There are a few newer graves dotted in amongst these, but it is mostly a much older cemetery. Loving memory of Hannah Young, wife of Robert, died August 1916. I really love these shield type of markers, and this one is erected by Ellen in memory of her beloved father William Jones, who was accidentally killed January 2nd, 1882, aged 55 years. All the graves right at the edge of the roadside here, you can see, are all fairly new, and it's a case of location, I suppose. Sacred to the memory of George Wolstenholme. Later Chancery Lane, died April 29th, 1894, aged 64 years, erected by his grandchildren. That's great to see that family still take an interest in their descendants. Again, just looking around at some of these monuments, and I say this probably in every video, but the architecture of these graves is nothing short of stunning. And unfortunately they don't take the time to make them like that anymore. There's an interesting one, has the urn with the at the top with the cloth draped over it. In the middle there has a hand writing, and it says erected by a few friends to the memory of Julian Thomas the Vagabond, died in September 1896. I'm going to have to stand back a fair way to show you this next one. Rather tall. Can barely stretch my arm up enough. Angel on top of what looks like a little church. And an inscription down below that says, "Leaves have their time to fall and flowers to wither at the north wind's breath. Each season has climbed, but whom will teach us when to look for thee, O death?" Go around the other side of it. It does not appear to be a name on this grave, so I really have no idea who's buried there. Yes, hang on, here we go, up here. Sorry, I did miss it. Oh, I've got to stretch my arms up pretty high. In memory of Mrs. Silas, I think it is, Harding, who died 10th of January 1897, aged 36 years. That's one tall monument, that one. Again, as I said, this is a rather older section of the cemetery. Out in the distance there you can see another very tall grave with maybe Mary at the top. This one I'm guessing is some sort of a crypt. Steps leading up to it. As we come back to the road, it's leading me back to my car. I'm just going to come past a couple of graves. One is of Sir Samuel Gillett, and he was pretty famous in Victoria. You can Google him to find out more about him. And here is the William John Turner Clark Memorial, and this is probably the tallest monument in the cemetery. I could do probably 100 videos here at this cemetery and not cover half of it. It's absolutely massive. But what I have noticed is as you drive into the cemetery, it starts off, all graves are all neat and in rows and all together. But as you get further into the cemetery and spread out and get down into the older sections, the graves are really just higgledy-piggledy and sort of just all over the place. Here's one in memory of Edward Wilson, born November 3rd, 1813, died at Hayes Place, Kent, England, January 10th, 1878. I wouldn't be doing a film without showing at least one grave of a returned soldier. Is A.R. Ellerslie, Royal Australian Engineers, 16th of December 1954, age 44. Thank you for your service, sir. This is the monument to Charles Hotham, explorer. Again, for those of you not familiar with Charles Hotham, you can Google him. There is plenty on the internet about him. And they're going to take you over here now to a grave that I've seen many times here at the cemetery, and it always fascinates me. I just like to show you that one. On the way here is a Lance Corporal McFarlane, served as well. The grave I want to show you is, just tell you, it's very unusual. And there's the grave of Christopher Mark Whitehead. And you'll notice, if we zoom in a little bit, you'll notice that it has his birth date, no death date, so we can only expect he's still alive. And all the years there of things he's done. Royal Women's Hospital Parkville is when he was born, 1960, St Margaret Mary's, Brunswick. I'm assuming he went to school there. St Joseph's College, Geelong, Werribee High School. He worked for the Department of Crown Lands and Survey as a draftsman. 1990, he appeared to have worked for Victoria Police, and he's done quite a few different things. 2009 retired. and he's way ahead of it. Got this all ready for himself. Good on him. A beautiful little gazebo in the background there. I'm not sure when that dates back to. Okay, I think we're going to leave it there, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in as usual. I appreciate all your comments and your likes. Please continue to subscribe and give me a like and a comment. We're at Melbourne General Cemetery. I'm Aussie Grover. Thanks for your time. Bye for now.